Hello, friends. Welcome to Core Reader, where we bring you the essence of books that can change your thinking, your habits, and even your life. Today, we're going to talk about a book that has shaken millions of lives from within. The book is called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, and it's written by Dr. Joseph Murphy. This book tells us a truth that most people never understand, that our real power lies within us, in our subconscious mind, the subconscious mind. Look, everything that happens in our lives, our relationships, our career, our health, our happiness, all begins with our thoughts. But the thoughts we know are just the surface layer, what we call the conscious mind. Below this lies another world, calm, deep, and incredibly powerful, which we call the subconscious mind. Murphy says, your subconscious mind is always working, whether you're asleep or awake. It does exactly what you tell it with belief. This means that if you repeatedly tell yourself, I don't know anything, it's not in my capacity, or my luck is bad, your subconscious mind accepts those statements as commands. It doesn't think right or wrong. It just believes what you repeatedly say. Murphy gives a brilliant example. He says your subconscious mind is like soil, and your thoughts, your words, your beliefs, these are all like seeds. Now, the soil doesn't care whether you plant wheat or a poisonous plant. The soil simply grows what's given to it. Exactly the same way, your subconscious mind also grows the harvest of whatever you plant within it, whether it's fear, despair, or confidence and success. If you constantly create images of fear, poverty, and failure in your mind, those become reality in your life. But if you plant these seeds in your mind that I can do it, I am capable, I have power within me, then that power manifests in your outer life. There's a story in the book. A person had gone completely blind. Doctors clearly stated that he would never see again. But that person kept hope alive within himself. Every night before sleeping, he would tell himself, God's light is in my eyes, I can see. He didn't just repeat these words, but believed them completely. Within just a few weeks, his body began responding, and after a few months, his vision returned. Now you might call it a miracle, but Murphy says, this was the power of mind over matter. When we give our subconscious a command with complete faith, it molds our body and life in that direction. The same thing happens with fear. If a person constantly thinks, I'll get sick, something bad will happen to me, then subconsciously his body and mind begin manifesting that fear. The subconscious mind doesn't recognize good or bad. It just does what you make it feel. That's why people who constantly hold negative emotions within themselves become victims of their own commands. Murphy says our subconscious is not a servant, but a creator. It molds our life in the direction we take it with belief. If you believe, I'm always unlucky, your subconscious attracts events that prove this belief right. But if you believe, every day brings new opportunities for me, then suddenly you'll notice that you really start recognizing and using new opportunities. There's another story in the book, a woman who had been alone for many years. She wanted to marry a good, understanding person, but deep inside she had accepted that her time had passed and it wasn't possible now. Then she followed Murphy's advice. Every night before sleeping, she began visualizing that she was living a happy life with a loving, respectful person. She felt that she was already in love. Within just a few months, she met a person who was exactly as she had imagined, and they got married. Murphy says, when you create a picture of faith within yourself, the universe finds a way to turn it into reality. So then the question is, why do most people stay stuck? The answer is simple, because we program our mind in the wrong direction. We repeatedly tell ourselves, I can't do it. I don't have money. I'll make a mistake. And the subconscious mind accepts that. Remember, you become what you think about yourself. If you believe you're a failure, your mind will make decisions that keep you failing. But if you say, I can learn, I'll try, then your subconscious opens those pathways through which you can truly succeed. Murphy shares a very interesting point, that when we put a thought in our mind right before sleeping, the subconscious processes it all night long. This is why if you go to sleep with worry, fear, or anger, you feel even more trouble the next morning. But if at that time you calmly tell yourself, I am safe, I am healthy, everything is good in my life, then your subconscious begins turning those feelings into reality. Every night when you sleep, you're installing a new program in your mind, and gradually that program determines the course of your life. Murphy says this isn't magic. It's the confluence of science and spirituality. Today's neuroscience, modern science, also says the same thing, that our thoughts create neural pathways in our brain. The more times we repeat a thought, the deeper that pathway becomes, and then our behavior starts following that path. Meaning what Murphy said in 1960 has now been proven by science. Our life is determined not by our circumstances, but by our beliefs. If we learn to program our subconscious mind in a positive direction, we can change our relationships, career, health, and happiness, everything. So if today you feel your life has stopped somewhere, before changing anything outside, look within yourself. There lies the power that can move mountains. Because the real power isn't outside, it's in your subconscious mind. And the person who understands this, nothing remains impossible for them. Now we'll talk about how to train this subconscious mind. Do visualization and affirmation really work, and what habits weaken the power of our mind? We've understood what our subconscious mind is and how it determines the direction of our life. But now the question is, can we change it? Can we truly reprogram our subconscious mind so it turns our desires into reality? Joseph Murphy says, absolutely yes. Because your subconscious isn't a blind force. It's an obedient servant that's always waiting for your command. The difference is just what kind of commands you're giving it, filled with fear or filled with faith. Murphy explains that the easiest way to reach the subconscious mind is repetition and emotion. Meaning if you repeat something with emotion over and over, it gradually becomes part of your subconscious. He calls this autosuggestion. Suppose you always say, I don't have money. Then your subconscious accepts that as truth and creates your circumstances accordingly. But if in that same situation you start saying, money is flowing easily into my life, and feel it with belief, then gradually circumstances begin changing. This isn't a miracle, but the result of the vibration and energy shift within you. Murphy gives an interesting example. A businessman who kept failing repeatedly. He tried starting fresh every time, but suffered losses each time. When he came to Dr. Murphy, he said, I feel fate is against me. Murphy asked him, do you think every morning that today will be difficult? He said, yes, because that's how it's been so far. Murphy smiled and said, that's the mistake. Every morning you give your mind the command to lose. Now change it. He taught him a simple phrase. Every day brings new success for me. I am prosperous and secure. That person repeated this with complete faith for 30 days, every morning and every night. The result was that the next month he got a big contract that completely changed his business. This story doesn't mean that just changing words changes life. The point is that when you change your thoughts, you change your energy frequency, and your subconscious captures that energy. It attracts opportunities, people, and events around you according to that thinking. Now the question comes, how to reprogram the subconscious mind. Murphy explains three main methods: visualization, affirmation, and faith. First is visualization, the power of imagination. Your subconscious understands images more than words. When you visualize something, like you're doing your dream job or feeling healthy and confident, your subconscious records it as a real experience. A person who had been sick for many years started visualizing every day that he was climbing mountains, running, laughing. Within a few months, his health began improving, and doctors were amazed. Visualization doesn't just mean seeing, but feeling, as if that thing is already your reality. The second method is affirmations, positive declarations. But remember, affirmations only work when they have emotion and belief. If you don't believe from your heart, simply repeating words makes no difference. Murphy says that every time you speak an affirmation, feel it from the depth of your heart. Like, I am calm, I am healthy, I am safe. This must be spoken not mechanically, but with inner conviction. It's like you're installing new programming in your subconscious. The third and most important is faith, the power of belief. Without faith, no technique works. Murphy says, your faith is your universe. If you truly believe from within that something is possible, your subconscious begins working in that direction. But if you doubt from within, that power stops right there. So always keep this feeling within yourself that what you want is already coming toward your life. Now all this sounds easy, but the real challenge comes from our old thoughts. Our old beliefs, fears, and insecurities are so deeply embedded in the subconscious that removing them isn't easy. But Murphy says, every old thought can be erased with a new thought. So every time a negative thought arises, just change it without fighting. As soon as the mind says, I can't, immediately say, I definitely can. Gradually, your subconscious will start accepting the new command. There's another very impactful story in the book. A young man who had achieved nothing in his life. Failure in every task, breakup in every relationship. Then he read this book and started a daily practice. Every night before sleeping, he would tell himself, I accept the infinite power within me. My success is certain. He did this practice for just 2 weeks, and his thinking completely changed. He became confident, started a new business, and within a few months, his life turned around. Murphy says, you must first bring change in your mind. Only then does the outer world change. A very interesting thing Murphy explains is that our subconscious always lives in this moment. It has no meaning of future or past. So when you say, I will be rich, the subconscious takes it as sometime later. But if you say, I am rich, I am happy, then it takes it as present truth and starts working. So always speak your affirmations in present tense, as if that thing is already your reality. Murphy also explains that the subconscious is most affected when we're in a relaxed state, meaning when our conscious mind is somewhat calm. This is why affirmations or visualization are most effective first thing in the morning after waking up and at night before sleeping. At that time, your subconscious is completely receptive. Another beautiful thought is, let go, meaning surrender. Many people think that if we want something, we should think about it day and night. But Murphy says that when you excessively force something, you create disbelief. Real faith means desire, believe, and then let it go. Trust that your subconscious and the universe will manifest it at the right time. This book teaches us that we are the directors of our life, but our script is written in our subconscious. If we change that script, change our beliefs, words, and thoughts, then our entire story changes. And this is the real mind power. So friends, what we learn from this is that we have complete power to reshape our mind. We can write our own destiny. We just need the right thoughts, right feelings, and right faith. Now we'll talk about how to use the subconscious mind in everyday life. What are the real ways to apply it in areas like money, relationships, and inner peace? And most importantly, we'll learn how to free ourselves from negative thinking and how to make our mind a friend. Dr. Joseph Murphy teaches us how to use this mind power in our everyday life. So far, we've understood how the subconscious mind works and how it can be reprogrammed. Now comes that real turning point, where this knowledge descends into our life, where thought, belief, and reality become one. Murphy says that every area of our life, money, relationships, health, or inner peace, all have their roots in our subconscious mind. First, let's talk about wealth and prosperity. Money, according to Murphy, is energy. If you hold fear, guilt, or a sense of lack toward it, that energy moves away from you. Many people internally believe that money is bad or that wealth is beyond their reach, and this very thinking keeps them bound in the same place. Murphy says if you want to be prosperous, first change your thinking. Give your subconscious the belief that money is flowing easily into your life. He suggests an affirmation. Money is flowing freely and continuously into my life. I am a source of prosperity. When you repeat this belief with emotion, gradually your inner energy begins changing and circumstances start aligning accordingly. Now let's come to relationships and love. Often people complain that they haven't found true love or their relationships break. Murphy says the reason isn't outside, but within us. If we don't consider ourselves worthy of love, the subconscious creates experiences that prove this belief right. So first learn to love yourself. Every day look in the mirror and say, I am worthy of love. I love others truly, and love naturally returns to my life. There's a story in the book of a woman who kept getting trapped in wrong relationships repeatedly. But when she awakened respect and love for herself, such a partner came into her life as she truly deserved. Murphy says, until you change yourself, your world doesn't change. Next comes the area of health. Dr. Murphy explains that our subconscious has a direct impact on our body. If you constantly live in fear, anger, or worry, the body responds accordingly. He says, don't complain to your body, command it. There's a story in the book of a doctor troubled by heart disease. Every day, he told his heart, my heart is filled with God's power. Every beat is the sound of love and peace. Within just a few weeks, his health began improving. Science now also accepts that positive visualization accelerates healing. When you feel yourself healthy and energetic, the body starts following that command. Now let's talk about freedom from negative thinking. Hundreds of thoughts come to us every day, many of which are filled with fear and insecurity. Murphy says, don't fight negative thoughts, just change them. Whenever the mind says, I can't, immediately say, I definitely can. When the mind says, I have nothing, respond, everything in my life is sufficient. Your subconscious treats your words as commands. So choose your words thoughtfully, because they become your reality. And now comes the most beautiful message of this book. Let go, meaning surrender. Murphy says that if you've given your subconscious a command, then trust it. Just as a farmer doesn't dig up the soil every day after planting seeds, similarly, don't keep checking your desire. Just plant it, have faith in it, and watch how the universe manifests it at the right time. Many people make this mistake. After making a wish, they start fearing, will this really happen? And this is where doubt begins. Remember, doubt doesn't understand the subconscious's language. It only needs faith. Finally, Murphy reminds us that our life is a reflection of our thoughts. What we believe inside manifests outside. If you give your subconscious the belief that you are worthy, you are capable, and life is on your side, then gradually the entire universe begins manifesting that belief. Every night before sleeping, talk to your inner mind. Thank it, command it, and then set it free to work for you. Because the subconscious never sleeps. It's constantly working every moment to turn your commands into reality. So friends, this is the real essence of the power of your subconscious mind, that miracles don't happen outside, but within us. If we learn to control our mind, change can be brought to every area of life. You are what you think, and your future will be what you decide with faith today. So from today, give positive commands to your subconscious of love, prosperity, health, and peace. And if this message has reached your heart, then remember, this isn't just a book, it's an awakening. When your subconscious awakens, the entire creation stands in your favor. So friends, this was the complete story of the power of your subconscious mind, a book that reminds us that life changes not from outside, but from inside. If you've understood this from your heart, then believe me, your tomorrow will be completely different from today. If you like this summary, please like the video, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel Core Reader, because here every book gives you the power to think, feel, and live something new. We'll meet again in the essence of another book. Till then, remember, your mind creates your world.